Welcome to the channel and welcome to Warhammer 40k 8th edition. It's Tyranids versus Space Marines. Today on the channel, the second company of the 13th of my Space Marine army is defending against Hive Fleet Blizzard, which is a splinter of Hive Fleet Behemoth. And the second company will be up in this ruined outpost here, defending against Hive Fleet Blizzard as they come racing across this frozen tundra down towards this ruined settlement. So it's Vanguard deployment, that's the one with the triangle. Basically the Hive Fleet deploying on that end. I'm deploying on this end here. There's an objective up in my deployment zone. There's one objective in the ammo cache down in the Tyranids deployment zone. And all of the other four objectives are running down no man's land in the center of the battle grid. So this is going to be very interesting as the armies jockey around each other, trying to follow the orders of the commanders or the Hive Fleet to take these objectives, take these key points on the battle grid. It's 2,000 points. We're playing Cleanse and Capture. That's the Maelstrom of War game where you get 3 cards a turn every turn. And there's also First Blood, Slay the Warlord and Linebreaker. Some very large, interesting line of sight blocking terrain pieces on the table as well, which will make it very interesting as we move around this battle grid. There's also craters. Craters give you +1 to your armor save if you're wholly within them. Quite a few craters on the table there. If there is a unit wholly within a ruins piece, that'll be +1 cover as well. So it's 2,000 points worth of Space Marines versus Bugs. And back on the channel one more time is Steve. Say hello, Steve.
Hello, Steve.
Mr. Intense Pickle, thanks for coming down. Pickle Rick. And you brought your Tyranids with you. I didn't know you had a Tyranid army. When did this thing pop up?
About 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
eBay purchase.
Good, good. Rescued off of eBay. Tyranids are good these days. Very good these days. I'm very interested in Tyranids. Let's go and have a look at these armies. This is 2,000 points worth of Space Marines. It's a single battalion detachment. That's 6 command points. And I'm going to be using Ultramarines Chapter Tactics because it's the second company. And the second company are born, not even those words, but they come from Ultramar essentially, come to reinforce the 13th Fleet. So they use the Ultramarines Gene Seed. Well, not really the Ultramarines Gene Seed, the Ultramarines Primaris Gene Seed. And leading the force is this particular captain here who has not got a name yet. Maybe he will earn himself the honours in this battle. And he's got a lieutenant with him. His warlord trait will be Storm of Fire, and the relic he's using is the Armour Indomitus, which basically he has a 2-up save, not a 3-up, and it can go to a 3-up invulnerable save once per battle. Got lots of troops, 2 units of 20 scouts, because if you bring in Space Marines, you need scouts. You need your screening units. There's a unit of close combat ones, a unit of shooty ones, and then 3 units of 5 intercessors, I want to call them. 3 units of jumpy dudes. 3 units of jumpy dudes with twin assault bolters in each. 3 units of 4 there. There's a unit of aggressors with the flamers and 20 hellblasters. So 2 units of 5 assault plasma incinerators. Those are the 2-shot versions. And 1 big 10-man squad of the just plasma incinerators. That's the 30-inch range rapid fire version. So if you actually look across the army, I haven't got really any anti-tank. There's no las cannons, no missile launchers, nothing to take down the big bugs in this list. What's going to have to do the work is quality over quantity, is all the AP -1 rounds, and what's going to have to do the work is the Hell Blasters, because it's going to be -4 everything they're hitting, the plasma. So long as I hit and so long as I wound, there shouldn't be much saving going on as far as the enemy is concerned. So instead of smashing people with big single shot weaponry that might take off D6 points, instead peppering them with lots and lots of high strength, high AP shots to try and take away the armor that way. I want to see if it works. I want to see if you can bring Hellblasters along instead of missile launchers, see whether it works. So that's the idea behind the list. Let's go and have a look at the bugs. This is 2,000 points worth of Hive Fleet Blizzard, a splinter of Hive Fleet Behemoth, 2,000 on the nose. And what we've got here is a battalion for 3 extra command points, a spearhead, which is all the heavies for 1 extra command point, and a vanguard, I think the elite one essentially. So you've got 8 command points to play with. And the warlord for the army, you've told me, is the Neurothrope. That guy there. And this is the Vanguard.
That's the Vanguard, yeah.
Which is 3 elites and
3
1
elites.
HQ. So we've got 2. What's in this one? You've got the Horospecs.
2 Horospecs and 2 Lictors.
Okay. With the HQ. Nice.
With the HQ as a Neurothreat. Yeah.
Nicely done. And then over here, the Carnifex, the heavy thing is easy to do because it's that World 1I in the middle, right?
Yep.
And then 2 punchy Carnifexes.
Basically 2
Dac
Screamer
effects.
Killers and 2 Dac Effects, really.
Nice. Got Sporosis on these guys.
Yeah.
So it's going to be -1 to hit them.
To hit them shooting.
So if I overcharge my plasma guns to try and shoot these, I'm going to be getting hot on a 1 and a 2, not just a 1.
Yeah, so good
Sporosis.
about that.
Yeah, Sporosis are good.
Yeah, good.
And then relics and warlord traits and things.
So, Warlord obviously is him. His Warlord trait today is Synaptic Linchpin, which basically, I think it gives him like an 18-inch synapse range, basically. So I can keep all my little bugs in check in the back.
So synapse is 12 inches. So long as you're within 12 of a synapse creature, you don't take morale. Yeah. And then synaptic linchpin gets it up to 18.
Yeah.
For those that don't know. The other thing that you get from Tyranids is horror in the warp, which affects psychers, but I have no psychers. And then the last thing is, what is that called? When you're outside of certain range, you have to... Yeah, then you get instinctive behavior. Essentially, if you're outside of 24-inch range, then so long as you continue to shoot and charge the closest enemy model, it doesn't affect you. But if you choose to shoot and charge something that's not the closest enemy model, there's negatives, right?
Yeah, it's -2 for charge and it's -1 to hit.
Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that. But it's so ineffectual these days. It doesn't come up very much. It used to be a real crutch. It used to be something that really stung Tyranid players. You'd see them move up the board in a big blob, but now you can spread out. It's gone out to 24 inches. Right, so what we got here? What's in the battalion?
The battalion is 2 Flyrants. So basically, this one has 2 Devourers or a set of Devourers with a monstrous rending claws. Yep. This one here, he's got Devourers. Obviously, you can't see them. Yep. And he's also got the relic the size of Tyran. Basically, it's a better
better rending claws.
It's a better stabby thing.
Stabby thing. Okay.
Stabby thing's the best word for that, really. Yeah. Colon got 26 gaunts. They just got normal flesh bore gaunts. Yeah. Second troop choice again is the Ripper Swarms, really cool, cheap as chips. Third, I got some Tyranid Warriors. I think they've just got Devourers on them. Yeah. They're not particularly brilliant as in for Tyranids, but they just look cool models.
They are cool models.
I'm just a rule of cool at the moment for the Nids because they just look cool, so you've got to buy the coolest models. Yep. These things here, these are Gene Stealers, everyone's favourite. I would say probably the best unit of the Nids. They've never really let me down.
Because they can advance and charge.
They can basically advance and charge, and they're fast little buggers. So I've got 14 of them. Yeah. And that's my 4th troops choice.
What does Hive Fleet Behemoth thingy bob do?
So basically, I've gone with Hive Fleet Behemoth because I've got a very sort of combat-based Nid army, and I just wanted them to be able to charge and get in. And basically, the Behemoth trait is that you can re-roll failed charges.
Re-roll failed charges?
Yes.
Oh, nice. And then there's adrenal glands, which...
So yes, I've got my 2 big punchy dudes have got adrenal glands. Yeah. Basically, that makes them move an inch further and charge an inch further.
Yeah. So +1 to charging and re-roll charging with adrenal glands.
And I've got them on the Flyrants as well.
Nasty.
And I've got them on the Trigon.
Yeah. Is that a prime or an
That's a Trigon prime, yeah. So he's got a bit of a synapse.
So he can pop up 9 inches away, but he'll be charging 8 inches.
Yes.
And he gets to re-roll.
Nasty stuff. And he can bring up a unit beside him and burrowing up, basically. So he's going to burrow up, and the Gene Stealer is going to be beside them. Yeah. So hopefully charging.
I'm really, really liking the Tyranid Codex. I like the options that they have. I like the aesthetic of them. I mean, it's a bug hunt. Who doesn't like a bug hunt? And this particular fight, it's going to be blue on blue. It should look spectacular. Right, let's get on to deployment. And we're deployed for this 2,000 point Maelstrom of Wargame Cleanse and Capture as the second company defend themselves against Hive Fleet Blizzard as they come charging across this frozen desert wasteland. Now the Space Marines managed to beat the Tyranids to the drop, and I managed to combat squad 1 unit of scouts. So there's 1 unit there, trying to push these deep striking units back, because we've got both the Hive Tyrants, the Trigon Prime, the Gene Stealers, the Rippers, the Lictors. There's a lot of stuff for the Tyranids in reserve. And this unit pushing all the way forward there. It looks like they've scouted across this frozen riverbed, and they're looking right and looking. They're probably running back this way, to be honest. They were probably out in the Badlands and saw this wave of blue come crashing towards them. This is going to be a blue on blue fight. Very, very thematic. I like it. We've got the Captain Lieutenant there. Hellblaster Blob, Hellblaster Blob, Hellblaster Bob, Scout Screen. Very, very simple. You want a Scout Screen if you bring in a Hellblasters. The idea is that the wave hits the Scouts and doesn't hit your dudes. Aggressors are more of a counterpunch unit. If you go charging up the field with them, even though they've got lots of flamers, they will get picked on and they will die horribly. So leaving them there to counter-punch along with a unit of intercessors and a unit of intercessors holding the flanks. There is an objective up in this broken tower, so I'll put a unit of intercessors up there as well. And then let's have a look at the Tyranid deployment. Where's old One Eye? We've got some bugs here, some Carnifexes. Is old One Eye down here?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. The guy with the broken skull. He's in there because these guys get a +1 to hit if they're within 6-inch ranges of old One Eye. Those Screamer Killers. There's the Haruspecs. And here is the Warlord, the psychic might of the Neurothrope rippling through the shadow of the warp. Like I say, not very many bugs on the table right now. The other 2 Carnifexes up that end, because everything that can fly or burrow is flying through the sky or burrowing underground. And of course my 3 units of intercept in the jumpy dudes are all in reserve. They're hurtling down through orbit as well. I like to think that they're dueling with the Hive Tyrants on their way down, shooting bolters at each other, shooting bolters and death spitter fire being exchanged in the upper atmosphere. And now we're going to roll off to see who goes first. So we're going to use the chapter approved rules. Quite simply, Steve, not Rob, gets to roll a dice, and then I roll, and I add 1 to this dice roll. Do you want to roll up? Good luck.
5.
5. Oh no, I've got that sinking feeling already. 3 plus 1 is 4. It's going to be Tyranids first, unless I can steal the initiative.
Stealing's bad.
Stealing is bad, and I don't steal the initiative. It's Tyranids. Turn 1. Here are the orders from the Hive Mind. Secure objective 1, get behind enemy lines and overwhelming firepower, just shoot something to death. Here we are after the Tyranid movement phase, and the wall of blue comes crashing forward. Hive Fleet Blizzard is here and they mean to inflict some damage. And there's objective 1. It just so happened to be the one that the bugs are on, so they definitely score that objective and get behind enemy lines, get inside the Space Marine deployment zone. Well, the Tyranids mean business. Both of the Hive Tyrants come crashing down more than 9 inches away from my models there. Definitely in my deployment zone. That's going to be nasty. And talk about pressure down the flank on this side of the battle grid. The Trigon Prime comes popping up with a unit of Gene Stealers around him as well. Now he's a Synapse creature. The warriors there are Synapse creatures. Neurothrope is a Synapse creature. So the entire army is in range of Synapse right now. Everything on the table will be fearless. Like I said, they've got objective 1, they've got behind enemy lines, and there is a circle all the way around the 13th lines. This could be over very quickly. I hope not. Essentially, I'm hoping for a couple of failed charges here, and then I might be able to fight my way out of this this noose. So let's go on to the Tyranid psychic phase. The Neurothrope is casting Catalyst on the big guy with a big tongue. You need a 6. And that's a definite 6, so he will be ignoring the wounds on a 5-up. Now the Hive Tyrants are going to wash some Psychic Pain in the Space Marines' back lines. So this one doing Smite, you need a 5. And that passes. It will do D3 mortal wounds on the Intercessors. 1, so that tickles one of them. Yeah. You've also got Psychic Scream, right?
Yeah, I have got Psychic Scream.
That's a walk charge value of 5.
So I'll do it on them again.
And that passes. This also does D3 mortal wounds. Ooh, that's 3 plus the one you already did. And this is what it looks like. The Sergeant staying there, breaking coherency. And Steve, not Rob, is deciding not to smite with that last one there. Why aren't you smiting? He can smite away.
Because if I smite and take him off,
Yes.
You'll take this guy off the sergeant, and I make my charge range.
Okay, yeah, charge him longer. These guys have got adrenal glands on as well, so they're charging 8, not 9, which is, well, +1 to their charge. Okay, so that's it from the psychic stuff here. Any more psychic shenanigans, sir?
No more psychic shenanigans from me.
That's the end of the psychic phase. Let's shoot stuff. So opening up the shooting phase, both of these Hive Tyrants have 2 Devourers with Brain Leech Worms. That's 12 shots. It's only 18-inch range assault weapon. And the only units they can hit is this Intercessors and this Intercessors. The Aggressors and the Hellblasters over there are just out of range. So he has to pour them into this squad here because, as discussed, doesn't want to shoot away this unit to make his charge even longer. So 12 shots each. We're doing them all together because the only thing he wants to shoot at is this stuff here. So 3s to hit with Hive Tyrants. And that was 17 hits. Strength 6, toughness 4, wounding on 3s. Both of them firing in there. That did 11 wounds. I am in a ruin, so this is a 2-up save. And I only fell 1. Intercessors have 2 wounds each, so none of the Honoured Brothers fall there. Moving along the line to the shoot effects, the DAC effects is down here. Each of them have got 2 Devourers with Brain Leech Worms. And Devourer's 6 shots, because they've got 2 pairs of them. This is 24 shots coming into this unit of Hellblasters. Now, you would be hitting on 4s, but you've got something that allows you to hit on 3s?
I've paid both of them to have enhanced sensors.
Nice.
I don't suffer any penalties for moving forward.
Yeah.
It gives me +1 to hit, basically.
Okay, hitting on 3s against the unit of Hellblasters. And that was 18 hits. Strength 6, toughness 4, wounding on 3s. This could sting. I think this is going to sting.
I hope so.
I got 14 saves to make. 3 up. There's 1 dead, 2 dead, and a half. 2.5 Hellblasters fall.
Nice.
Now rinsing and repeating with the other one. If you do 2.5 more wounds, you're going to kill out this unit of Hellblasters. So hitting on 3s, and that isn't as good.
No, nowhere near as good. 3.
What was that, Steve?
You're touching my dice again, Winters. You're cursing them.
Cursing them. So instead of 18, how many did you get?
You got 12.
I'm going to keep touching your dice. I need 12 at that time.
Yeah,
3 still
going.
win. See, after you touch them, they go.
They go not bad.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad, yeah. Take the dice.
Yeah, I'll take the dice. I'll touch your dice. Right, 3 up save. Come on. Oh, 1 minute. 4 wounds. So 1 is left on half a wound left. That'll be the Sarge. Almost first blood, but not quite. From the Carnifexes to the Warriors, firing at the Scouts, 2 Devourers, and they hit on
3s again.
3s. Okay, so that's 3 hits that time. Strength 6 still?
No, because they're small ones.
Okay.
4s.
Okay.
2.
2 wounds
No,
on the Scouts.
On the Scouts.
2 4-up saves. 1 of the Scouts dies. Then to the Prime, what's he called?
Trigon Prime.
Trigon Prime, 12 shots with bioelectric pulse.
Yeah.
And he is
4s.
Okay, that's okay. And this is strength 5, toughness 4. He's shooting at the unit at Intercessors. He can't quite reach the Hellblaster there. So this is wounded on 3s. And it's no negative to the AP.
No,
I'm touching your dice.
You love touching
3 up. I love touching your dice. 3 up save.
Touch them.
Only 1.
Yeah.
Only 1. 1 takes a wound. From the Prime to the Haruspex with his grasping tongue, going in at the Scouts, hitting on a
4.
4. Okay. Is it just 1 shot?
Just 1.
And that misses. Nice.
Yay.
His tongue misses. You don't lick me.
Not yet.
Then everything else that can shoot is out of range or line of sight. So no overwhelming firepower scored in this turn, but perhaps next turn. So now we're on to the assault phase. Let's declare these charges. Okay, the Haruspex charging the Scouts. Already did the Overwatch, no damage. This is 6 inches, so a 5-inch charge. 4, and you can re-roll.
I can.
Because your Hive Fleet Behemoth Splinter.
Flint Hive.
And yeah, he's 12. He's angry. Moving around, the Carnifexes can't charge because they advance this turn. And then we're on to the Hive Turrets. I've already Overwatched with 1 of them at that guy and didn't do any damage. And now you need an 8. Would be a 9-inch, but 8 inches because you've got adrenal glands. Yeah, okay, so good luck.
Thank you.
And no, that's a 5. You get to re-roll. 8. He is in. Lucky.
We know that.
Let's see if his mate joins in as well.
Brother.
Brother.
No.
4, reroll.
Yeah. Oh, 6.
6. No, just one of them gets in, but for some reason I think one Hive Tyrant will be enough.
One is all you need.
The Hive Tyrant ends up there. Now over here, we've got the Gene Stealers declaring a charge into the Intercessors. Done the Overwatch, didn't do any damage. They need a 9. So let's see if they manage to get in.
Nope.
That's a 3. And then the
Behemoth.
Yeah.
Ooh,
9. And the Gene Stealers will make it in. This is interesting because they might block off that Tyranid
I think
Prime.
they probably will.
And this is where the Gene Stealers end up. Yes, they've blocked off the charge from the Trigon Prime, but that doesn't matter so much because after the Gene Stealers hit, you've got Trigon Prime there for a 1-2 punch for later turns. Right, so what assault do you wish to do first, sir? Should we do this one?
I think we do the Gene Stealers, yeah.
So 9 Gene Stealers can fight. Now, typically they have 3 attacks each, but because there's more than 10 of them, they've got 4 attacks each. That's 4 times 9 is math. 36 attacks. Hitting on 3s with their rending claws. And that's a lot of dice, and this is not even the entire unit. And if there was a Broodlord next to them, they'd be hit on 2s instead of 3s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have, if the Broodlord was there, I would have only dropped 2 hits from the entire lot there.
Nice. And these are rending claws, so AP minus 1, but 6s are AP minus 4. So you got 6 6s. And only 5 4s. So the 5 4s are AP minus 1, so this is a 4 up. And I don't... so 3 plus the 6 you made is 9 damage in total. Guess what? They got 9 wounds left. First blood. And the Gene Stealers pile it in. 3 inches. Nasty. On to the horror specs. He's using this Ravenous Maw. He gets D3 attacks for every attack. So 4 attacks times D3 each. And that's nice. This is 10 attacks hitting on 4s, and that's not bad. That is bad. That's only 4 hits. He's strength 7 with his Ravenous Maw, minus 1 AP, so he's winning on 3s. He only got 1? 1 is minus 1. So I get a 5 up, which I fail. Now for every attack I fail with a Ravenous Maw, you can make another attack with your Crushing Claws. So 1 hit with Crushing Claws, hitting on 4s. No, he kills a scout.
Wow.
From the disappointment, that was the Haruspex. On to the Hive Tyrant. Now, he should make up for it. He's got 4 attacks, but he's got the relic, the Size of Tyran, which gives him an extra attack. He hits on 2s.
Reroll 1s to Size and Talon.
Yep. And reroll those 2 1s. And that's 5 hits. He's strength very high. With 6 gives you an extra attack with the Size of Tyran, so hitting again, re-rolling the 1. Yeah, and it doesn't stack any further.
Anymore. 3s.
3s to wound. Only 2 wounds. Minus what? These things?
Minus 3 damage.
Minus 3, a flat 3 damage. So I need 6s, and I make 1. Oh no!
God damn it.
Basically, the Gene Stealers hit like a brick. The Haruspex and the Hive Tyrant, not so much. Now I get to pile in and fight back. So there's the Sergeant. I've got just 2 Space Marines left there, but the Sergeant's got an extra attack. So I'm hitting on 3s. I get 3 hits, and I'm wounding on 5s. I get no wounds. Over to the Haruspex. 3 normal scouts hitting on 3s, wounding on... That'll do it.
That'll do it.
And then there's the Sergeant with the sword. Anyway, 2 3-up saves from the normal attacks.
Yep.
No, and then the Sergeant has 2 attacks. 3s to hit, it's 5s to wound. 2 wounds at minus 3 AP. Tell a lie, he's toughness 8. I didn't wound him. Nasty. Big, nasty beastie there. And that's the end of your turn 1.
Yep.
Suddenly, we've got Gene Stealers and the Harufexes and the Hive Tyrants, oh my. Deep in the 13th lines. It's already an uphill fight. You get first blood for wiping out that unit there. I need to make a morale test. He's leadership 8 plus 1 for Ultramarines chapter tactics. So 3 plus the 4 I lost is 7. He will hold. Over here, they hold as well. So past the morale phase, but you do get first blood. You do get behind enemy lines. You certainly have got objective 1. So it's 3 points to Hive Fleet Blizzard. 0 points to the Space Marines as we go into Space Marines, turn 1. The orders for the 13th are no prisoners and big game hunter. Just kill stuff and kill something big. And supremacy, take any 3 objectives for D3 points. After much deliberation, the second company advance. Now I've got threats all around my lines, different angles and different orders to achieve, and that took a lot of time to think about it. So as for this Hive Tyrant that came smashing it in here, the unit of intercessors has fallen back out of combat. With Ultramarine tactics can still shoot, but it'd be -1 to hit. And the aggressors have moved forward. He is in flame range. They've got power fists. They could potentially hurt him because it does D3 damage a time. But I need to put as many wounds as I can on with both of the units of intercessors and these scouts here. The scouts are caught between a rock and a hard place, or rather 3 Carnifexes and a Hive Tyrant. So put as much pressure as I can in there. And then as for kill, and then potentially I could kill something that could be Big Game Hunter, kill something with 10 wounds or more. But the main thing that I'm going for killing something with 10 wounds or more is this Tyranids Prime down here. I thought about breaking out a cover with that bad boy, but he's toughness 8 and he's got catalyst on. So most of my plasma shots will be wounding on 5s or 4s, but the Tyranids Prime has only got toughness 6. Very interesting. So the plasma here, strength 7, assault plasma weaponry, strength 6, and he hasn't got catalyst on, so all the hits that I get through should kill him. So the unit of big 10 plasma incinerators here, some of them are in rapid fire range, are going to rapid fire into the Tyranids Prime. There's the unit of 5 back here. Everyone's within the re-roll hit rolls of 1 and re-roll wound rolls of 1 of the Captain Lieutenant. Throwing lots and lots of firepower at the Tyranids Prime, and then no fire at the Gene Stealers. So a unit of jumpy dudes came in here within reroll hit rolls of 1, reroll wound rolls of 1 to fire at the Gene Stealers, along with the remaining scouts. So that should be enough pressure down on the Tyranids Prime. And then just in case, I put another unit of jumpy dudes in the backfield to hit him from behind if I need to. And also, because he's a synapse creature, if I kill him and synapse starts collapsing, and the warriors are synapse, so another unit of unit, see what I mean? Jumpy dudes here with options to take out the synapse creatures in the backfield, and that will give me, make it interesting for Steve Not Rob when he decides to move stuff around. It does mean that both of those jumpy dudes are liable for a countercharge by some Carnifexes, but to be honest, I'd rather they're going backwards then forwards. Then getting 3 objectives. I'm on 1 here. I'm on 1 there. And there's 1 under that big guy there. So I've kept in combat. There's the objective there. And I have a troops unit. But just in case he slaughters all of them rather than just 1 in close combat, I've strung out my scouts. So they are within 3 inches of that objective to score that one if he kills them all. They're also scoring this one back here. So I am on 3 objectives. That will be D3 points for supremacy. Now I just need no prisoners. I just need Big Game Hunter. I just need to start pushing back against this wave, this wall of Tyranids. Hopefully I can do some damage on this flank. Probably not a lot of damage on the left flank and in the castle in the middle, and there's still some Gribblies underground burrowing their way towards my lines. It's a long way from over. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Right, let's start off here. This unit of Inceptors are only picking on these warriors. They have 6 shots each, because assault bottles are 3 rounds each. So this is 24 shots, hitting on 3s for the Emperor. Oh no. That was alright, 17 hits, strength 5, toughness 4, wounding on 3s. And it is AP -1. You have a 3-up save, which becomes a 4-up save. Not wholly within the crater there, so this is a 4-up save on these warriors. And they have how many wounds each?
3 each.
No. Is that dead warriors?
I think it is dead warriors. It is dead warriors.
That was incredibly successful. Didn't expect that to happen. So down here to the Hellblasters. Right, I am going to overcharge this big squad. There is a captain and lieutenant in there. And the front 4 are in rapid fire range. So hitting on 3s and any 1s, I could potentially lose a model. Hitting on 3s, these are the guys in rapid fire range. Hitting on 3s and hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s, don't get another one. Okay, so those are the rapid fire ones, and then there's 6 more shots which are not in rapid fire range, hitting on 3s, re-rolling that 1-1, Because I overcharged, I'm now strength 8. So I'm wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s because the lieutenant. And there's a bunch of 2s. Re-roll that one. So that's 7 wounds at -4 AP. He's only got a 3-up save, so it burns straight through his armor. Each of them does 2 damage. That's 14 wounds. He's only got 12. He dies. Nice. That's Big Game Hunter. Does he have death throws? Does he thrash out and maybe smack those Gene Stealers in front of him?
No.
No, 6 rolled, so he's dead. That's Big Game Hunter. That was, again, stupidly successful. Oh, should have mentioned while we're at it, this guy has a tail, which he gets to do at the end of the combat. We forgot to do it. Then he did it, then he whiffed. So we're all good over there. The dice god's there coming back and saying, if you forget something, you forget something. Right, my shooting was too successful, so now I need to think about what I'm shooting next. Okay, so more Hellblasters. That one Hellblaster fired at that Carnifex, took 2 damage at him. Now we're on to this unit of Hellblasters. They've got Assault Plasma Incinerator, so this is 2 shots at 24-inch range. And because this guy is such a big boy, I can see him up and over the wall, so I will fire at him. And I am overcharging again one more time because of the Captain-Lieutenant combination there. So hitting on 3s with the first guy. Hitting on 3s. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling the 1, don't make another 1. And hitting on 3s. Rerolling the 1. And the last guy. Rerolling the 1. Okay, so nobody dies, quite a few hits. That gets their guns from strength 6 to strength 7, but Hive Tyrant is toughness 7, so I need 4s. And I reroll the 1s because of the Lieutenant, and get 3 wounds. Just 3 wounds. Here's a 4-up invulnerable save, but each failure will cause 2 damage. So, just 2 damage on the Hive Tyrant. Right, we'll go back to him. Now I need these the jumpy dudes to take on these Gene Stealers before this wave hits my Hellblasters and annihilates them. So 24 shots. Storm of Fire is in effect, but it doesn't really matter because you've got a 5 invulnerable save. Storm of Fire would allow me to increase the AP of my weaponry. I'm re-rolling 1s. Look at all those 6s. Because of the Captain. Strength 5, toughness 4, wounding on 3s, and re-rolling 1s. There's 3 1s in there. Oop, that was a 1. That converted 2 more. Okay, that was 15 wounds in the end, so they have a 5-up save. See if they dodge them with their lightning reflexes. Dodging right, dodging left. You roll my dice better than I roll my dice.
Yeah.
Making 8 saves, only 7 of them fall. You are a dice rolling machine. Not good. I need to kill some more of these guys. So the scouts are firing into them as well. 6 of them are in rapid fire range. Hitting on 3s. Re-rolling 1s. That's okay. That was only 2 misses. Strength 4, toughness 4. Wounding on... Oh no. Re-rolling quads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4. You're probably going to save 3 of these as well.
Oh, let's hope so.
And you saved 2 of them. Just 2 more Gene Stealers down. Captain and Lieutenant are going to have to fire at you as well. So the Lieutenant pulls the trigger on his pistol, hits on a 3, wounds on a 4, and he rerolls wounds. He gets 1 in the face. Can he dodge?
Nope.
No, he can't. That's another Gene Stealer down. And then the Captain will have to fire his Master Crafted Assault Bolter. 2s to hit with him. He rerolls 1s. And he will wound on 4s. He gets 2. Good shot, shooting Captain. And takes 2 more of them down, leaving only 2 Gene Stealers left. How many was in that blob?
14.
14. So that's pretty effective. I think I've shot everything over. I've still got a unit of jumpy dudes. He's on 6 wounds. Yes. Let's fire at that Carnifex. Fire at this Carnifex, hitting on a 3.
4s.
4s because of Sporcis. Thank you very much. That was 13 hits, strength 5, toughness 7, winning on 5s, and it's -1 AP. 1, 2, 3. Let's reroll that one.
Yeah, that's definitely cocked.
Okay, 4 wounds, 5 wounds. There's 5 wounds. 5 up becomes it's -1, right?
Yeah.
So 2 saves, 2 saves. Down to 4 left. He's still in fighting form, and he's probably very angry. Okay, so that's it for this side of the battle grid. Going all the way back here, I've got to try and take out this Hive Tyrant before he runs through my lines. Right, I fell out of combat with the intercessors. Now, normally if you fall out of combat, you can only shoot a unit if you have the fly keyword. But these are Ultramarines chapter tactics, so they can fall back and still shoot even though they don't have the fly keyword. But it is -1 to hit. So I'm going to chuck a grenade. This will be a 4 and a miss. And then the bolt fire. 2 hits. It's strength 4, toughness 7. I need 5s. I do get a wound, so that will be a 4-up save, a 3-up to a 4-up. Oh, he takes a wound. Then the unit up in the tower, I'd love to throw a grenade at him, but it's only 6-inch range, because grenades do D3 damage, not just 1. But out of range, so I'm going to have to shoot him with a bolt rifle. 3s to hit. And I managed to get 6 hits. 5s to wound. And I get 4 wounds. 4-up saves, Steve, not Rob. And he takes 3 more wounds. I'm beginning to chip away. This is interesting stuff. On to the aggressors. They have 2 flamers each. So this is 6 flamer hits. It's 8-inch range. You are in range. And they auto hit. So this is the number of wounds it does. Auto hits that it does. And that's 10. That's math. That was 23 auto hits, but this is strength 4 versus toughness 7 and no minus to the AP. These aggressors essentially are horde killers. They should be picking on the little bugs, not the big bugs. But let's bathe him with holy flame. See if I can dent his armor. 5s. That was 7 wounds. He's got 6 left. This is a 3-up save though. He'll be fine. He'll walk through fire. Takes 2 more. 2 more. He's down to 4 left. Right, the scouts will shoot at him now. Just out of grenade range with the scouts. Just their pistols. 3s to hit. 4 hits. 5s to wound. Let's get him down to his lowest bracket. 1 more wound. 1 3-up save.
Fine.
And he's fine. He's bleeding ichor. He's wounded. His wings are perforated, but he flies on. Right, and that's the end of my shooting phase. Remarkably successful. The synapses collapsed here with the warriors and the Trigon Prime going, and I've done so much damage to this unit of Gene Stealers that Steve is going to have to pay 2 command points to keep them in the fight next turn. Now, he is definitely going to spend 2 command points to keep them in a fight, I think, because if I kill 3 things or more with no prisoners, I'm going to get D3 points, not just 1. You get a point in no prisoners if you kill a unit. D3 points killing between 3 and 5 at the end of the turn. So if they run away, that's D3 points. So Steve's going to have to pay, I think, to keep them in. Which means my Hellblasters are going to have to charge them. Now, I don't want to do that for 2 reasons. One reason, if just 1 is left alive, I won't be able to shoot next turn. 2, it brings me closer to the Carnifexes, but it's worth a lot of points. So yeah, let's do that. The Hellblasters charging the Gene Stealers, because these are Primaris, they have 2 attacks each. That would be 20 attacks going in there. And the aggressors are going to try and take on that Hive Tyrant, because potentially if I kill him as well, I need 3 things for that no prisoner. So let's go, heroes. Let's try and slay the beast. So the Hellblasters get into combat there, leaving 2 at the back, because then they're within 6 inches of the captain and lieutenant for re-rolling hit rolls of 1, re-rolling wound rolls of 1, and then the aggressors only needed a 5. They went wheeling in there as well. So let's start here. So Steve, not Rob, doesn't pay to interrupt. I don't want to get hit by that intense pickle. They've got power fists, and so it's -1 to hit. They each have 2 attacks, +1 for the sergeant, 7 attacks, hitting on 4s. Please, 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 please. Only 2 hits. I know.
I might survive.
It's strength 8. Do I want a command point? I'm going to have to command point. I need another hit. First command point, and I fail. Strength 8 with power fists, toughness 7. I need 3s to wound. I need both of these to get through. Both of your invulnerable saves to fail, because you've got 4 wounds left. Both of them get through. So 4 up and vuln, sir, or D3. That's good. That is good. You fail 1, pass 1. So this will do D3 damage. The Hive Tyrant will live for 2 damage, dropping him down to 2 wounds remaining. You see, I thought about throwing the scouts in, but I was certain that the aggressors would do it. You only had 4 left. Oh no. Okay, Hellblasters need to clear away these Gene Stealers. 8 Hellblasters there. That's 16 attacks, +1 for the sergeant, hitting on 3s. Re-rolling 1s. 10 hits, wounding on 4s, and re-rolling 1s. 5 wounds, 5 invulnerable saves as they dodge right, dodge left. Don't do it, Steve.
For the Norn Queen.
For the Norn Queen.
No.
No. And only saving 1. I take out the Gene Stealers. I could now consolidate 3 inches towards the closest enemy unit, which is some Carnifexes. I'm definitely not feeling that love.
Why not?
No, because they're big and nasty and I shot one and one is very, very angry.
Got a lovely tongue for you.
Yeah, but he's really angry. Then on to this combat here. Do you want to pay to interrupt or you can let me swing first?
You can swing first.
Okay, 3 normal dudes hitting on 3s, wounding on 6s because you're toughness 8. Oh, there's a wound. Did a wound to him. No, and then the sword, 3s and 6s. No wounds. Now he gets to fight back. 4 attacks, D3 attacks a time for his big tongue. Tongue of Doom. That's not so good again.
Not so good.
The internet doesn't like this model. I wonder why.
I love him.
I think he looks brilliant.
He is brilliant.
Yeah. 4s to hit. 4 hits this time. This is good. Strength 7. So 3s to wound. And just 1 wound?
1 wound.
One wound at -1. So 5 up. No. Which means for every failed wound, for every model you kill, he gets to do another attack with his claws.
Yeah.
This time he hits. He's on a 2. Minus huge. Yeah, he just
4,
annihilates another one.
Yeah.
So killing 2 Space Marines there isn't enough to make them make a morale test because they're leadership 8. And now we're over to your injured, bleeding, steaming Hive Tyrant against these aggressors. Yeah. So 2 wounds left. How many attacks is he down to? 1?
No, his attacks stay the same.
Does he?
His attacks stay the same. It's just he hits on 4s instead of 2s now.
So 4s. He's got 5 attacks with that special relic then. So he's hitting on 4s. Okay.
4s, yeah. Reroll 1s.
Oh yeah.
So
and no 6s because 6s will give you
additional attacks because of the relic.
So 3 hits and he's strength high.
Yeah.
Wounding on 3s. Only 1 wound.
Wound again. -3.
-3. 6 up save for an aggressor. No.
3 damage.
1 aggressor dies. He's not the sergeant. He's not the sergeant. 1 aggressor dies, and that's the end of the combat.
No! I got to remember his tail.
Oh, his tail. Yeah, let's do his tail.
D3.
4s with
D3. 1.
1.
So 4s again.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I got all my points. I got Big Game Hunter, that's a point. I get D3 points for Supremacy and D3 points for No Prisoners. So 2 D3 points. Oh, no, that's the big 3. The big 3, that's 6 points plus the 1 is 7 points. 7 points to 3 as we go into Tyranids turn 2. The bugs want to swarm this battle grid. Secure objective 3, secure objective 4, and overwhelming firepower shoot something to death. Here we are at the end of the movement phase for Hive Fleet Blizzard. There's objective 3. This is one of the objectives they need to get, so that's going to be really tough. Unless this Hive Tyrant charges them, he would be up here, but with wobbly modeler syndrome, we'll put him down there. And it's it's straight. He doesn't have to go the 3 inches up to get up a level, because he's got wings, so potentially he could charge in there, slaughter them all and take that, but he's going to need to kill every single one because they're a troop's choice. So that one's tough. Objective 4, a lot easier. The Rippers have popped up onto Objective 4, and as for overwhelming firepower, well, both of the Carnifexes bundling forward with their 24 shots each, and there's a Hellblaster Sergeant. Kill him, that's a point. Of course, if Steve, not Rob, manages to kill 3 things in the shooting phase, that will be D3 points. So down here, there's a unit of 2 intercessors left there. There's the unit of scouts there. Over here, this Carnifex on the left, he just moved forward. He is in charge range. It will be -2 to charge because he'll be charging through a crater. But with Hive Fleet Behemoth Adaption, he can re-roll that charge. So that's pretty much a sure thing. The other 2 did advance forward. Got some good dice rolling there, bundling a long way forward, and we can see the swarm of blue, the river of blue breaking around either side of that big rock pile. The Neurothrope, the HQ, the synaptic linchpin of this army, could smite those 2 remaining scouts, and if they die, if they get smitten off of there, then the horror specs will be free to charge, because you can do that. Kill them in the smite phase, kill them in the psychic phase. Then he could charge on it into the other unit of scouts. Okay, what are we doing?
We are smiting the scouts.
Smiting, good luck, you need a 5.
I do need a 5.
And that's a 9, that'll pass. D3 mortal wounds on the scouts.
1.
2. That's just 1 is dead. Do you want a command point it? You haven't spent any yet. Because he can only cast 1 psychic power, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So you haven't smitten your way out of combat. Decisions.
I'm going to spend a command.
I like your beard, by the way.
Thank you.
It's a new thing.
It is.
Winter time and all that.
Winter time.
Oh, no. Just killing one of the scouts in the psychic phase. Going across, down to here. This Hive Tyrant doing what?
Smite.
Smiting. It's going to hit the Hellblasters.
Yeah.
And that's Snake Eyes. And you've spent a 1 in the psychic phase.
Yeah.
So that's a fail. And that's D3 mortal wounds. And he's only got 2 left.
Yeah.
Horror upon horror.
Yeah.
And the Hive Tyrant falls. Death throws on a 6. And he does lash out and does D3 mortal wounds on everything within a certain range. D3 mortal wounds within 3 inches on the aggressors. And you kill 1.5 aggressors, and it does D3 mortal wounds on your other Hive Tyrant, and does 3 to him. That is brutal stuff. So one of the Hive Tyrants is gone. That could be game-changing stuff. What we thinking, Steve?
I'm thinking, I want to say something, but it won't be.
No swearing, Steve.
No swearing, yeah. No swearing. just. Oh.
Right, on to the other Hive Tyrant. What do you want to do?
Well, as I've had such great success with my psychic abilities in this game, I'm going to smite him as well.
You really want him dead? Okay.
Or I want myself dead.
Don't roll double ones. Oh, that's a 4. That's a fail. And you got a psychic scream.
Yeah,
you just need a 5. And that's a 4 and it fails. The synaptic pressure is just collapsing. The shadow in the warp collapsing. Maybe when that Tyranid prime went pop over there, the backlash across this battle grid has stopped the Tyranid psychic powers. That's good narrative, Steve. That's good narrative.
Yeah, at least something's good.
Right, that's the end of the psychic phase. Killed a scouts, killed an aggressor and a Hive Tyrant. And now we're doing all 12 shots into this aggressor here. You really want him dead. He's got power fist and flamers, he can sting. Yeah, so hitting on 3s. Okay. And this is strength. That's bad shooting. Your dice are betraying you. Strength 6, toughness 5 because he's in Gravis armor. So it's 3s to wound. He's only got 1 wound left. So I've got to make all of these of the 3 up for the Emperor. No, he's dead. So that is overwhelming firepower. Now we're across the Haruspex with his grasping tongue. You can fire it within 1 inch of an enemy model. So firing at that scout, you really need to kill him. Oh, he misses. Forced to hit and you roll a 1.
Man, this is from bad to worse.
No, this is the Emperor protects. Right, the little bugs advanced, but they're assault weapons so they can advance and shoot. -1 to hit. Going at the scouts. 11 of them are in range, hitting on 5s. And you get 4 hits. That's okay. These are strength 4, right?
Yeah.
So they're winning on 4s. And 1 wound. 1 4-up save. Nope. One of my scouts survives. Shooting not. You haven't done anything in shooting yet.
I haven't done anything on psychic either.
You did an aggressor, sorry, I forgot about him. Well done. Carnifexes are the last thing, aren't they?
To shoot, yes.
Because you've got a very aggressive chargy army. Not so much in the shooty or the psychic phase army, it would seem. Right, across to the Carnifexes. You're out of Synapse range and you're picking on the Hellblasters because they're not the closest unit and you're out of Synapse. It's -1 to hit. He's got enhanced sensors, so that gets his 4 to a 3, back to a 4 up to hit these Hellblasters. Good luck, 24 shots on 4s. That looks healthy. 13 hits, strength 6, toughness 4, winning on 3s. And yeah, that was healthy. It would have been healthier if you were hitting on 3s.
It would have been, yeah.
I'll touch your dice.
Yeah.
I like touching your dice, Steve. 3-up save. 1, 2, just 2. Okay, what are you doing with the other 24 shots from the Carnifex?
Rinse and repeat, as that works so well.
Why?
Because they're absolutely horrible and...
But the scouts are just there, you're hitting them on 3s.
Yeah, but I can charge the scouts.
Oh yeah, okay. Hellblasters are nasty.
They are.
4s. 14 hits, 3s to wound. Did 11 wounds, trying to force the morale. 3-up saves. 1, 2. There's 4 wounds there, so that's 2 more Hellblasters dead. So that volley of 48 shots, only killing 3 Hellblasters. It could have been better. So a lackluster shooting phase from the Tyranids. Let's go on to the charge phase and see if they can nom something. Carnifex versus Scouts with the Crater. This is 7 inches with reroll. That's a 7. They're in. I've done the Overwatch. Didn't scratch his hide. Next up, the last remaining Hive Tyrant. Trying to charge these Intercessors. I did a wound on Overwatch. This will be a 7-inch charge with Wobbly Model. So... and that's an 8. He's angry. He is in there. So the way Wobbly Model Syndrome works is if you can't stick him there, you put him as close as you possibly can. Essentially, he's up in the air going, caca, caca, eating them as best as he can. Then you did the Carnifexes. We declared charge on the Carnifex on the Scouts, and I did 2 wounds to him on Overwatch. And now basically don't roll a 3 and less than a 3 and you're in. Yeah, he's in. But I took a couple more wounds off of him, down to only 2 left. So the other one's got a free charge now. He can't be overwatched. And that's 6. 7?
Yeah, I don't think that's...
oh no, 4, sorry. Reroll that charge.
Reroll that charge, yeah.
Yeah, there's 8. He's definitely
8
in.
plus 1, 9.
9, yeah. Carnifexes end up there. They are hungry. Right. Nom phase. Okay, fight phase. When the Carnifexes charge on a 4+, it does a mortal wound crushing charge. Boom, he just runs over one of them and drives one into the ground. Then across to these 2. No, they don't drive anyone into the ground. Right, where do you want to start striking first? Right, start with a Hive Tyrant. 4 attacks, hitting on 2s with monstrous rending claws. And he gets all hits in. He's now strength 6, toughness 4, wounding on 3s. The monstrous rending claws, you reroll all wounds. Yeah. And the 6s do something special.
6s are minus...
they're -6 or something.
-6 with
6.
3 damage apiece.
-6 AP. I don't know anything in any of the codexes that are -6. But -6, flat 3 damage each.
Yeah.
Will kill 3 of them. Do you want to apply that one first? Because that's D3.
Yeah.
And that will kill the 1-on-1 wound.
Yeah.
And then the 6s will kill 3 more, leaving the sergeant left alive.
I'll do that then.
Because the 3 damage things don't spill over. Leaving the sergeant there. Then the tail swings, hitting on a 2. That's a hit. It's strength 6. That's a wound. It's no AP, but it does do D3 damage. So I need to make a 3-up save, which I fail. This could kill the sergeant as well. D3 damage. And that's 2 damage. Oh, the Hive Tyrant. The first one fluffed. The second one wiped out a unit of intercessors with ease. Do you want to pile into them or not? Because you have to pile into the closest enemy.
I want to a hold 3, which is one of my...
It was a wobbly model, so you would be up there.
It would be like there, wouldn't it? So
if you pile in, you have to go to the closest enemy unit. Exactly. So we'll leave you there, and say that you are within 3.
Within 3.
Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Should we put them in the crater just for the effect?
We'll put him there, just to say he's on the edge. Right, on to this Carnifex. It would be 4 attacks, but it's 5 attacks because he's got 2 sets of monstrous diving talons. And he gets hitting on 4s normally, but 3s because he charged. +1 to hit because he's within 6 inches of old 1-eye. So he's hitting on 2s.
Rerolling 1s.
With 5 attacks. Rerolling 1s because that's what
diving talons do.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So reroll 1.
Yeah. And this is strength huge. Sorry, strength 6, -3 AP, 3 damage. So 3's to wound. And I don't get any kind of save. -3 AP, 3 damage. He just cleaves through all of those scouts. And then he consolidates 3 inches towards the closest enemy model. The intercessors there. So 2 units wiped out in the charge phase. Feeling a bit better?
A little bit, yeah.
Looking at the rules there. Right, on to the remaining Carnifexes. I could pay to interrupt, but there is no point. These are just scouts. We're going to do these 2 at the same time. Would be forced to hit normally, but they charged. 3s to hit. They both have bone maces. You can do 1 attack with a bone mace. So this is both of them hitting. And they both hit, and they're strength 8.
Strength 8.
So wounds on
not that.
Snake Eyes Gaming. Yeah. Brilliant. And then they have their remainder attacks. 3 attacks each. So that's 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Only 3 hits. Strength 6. 2 wounds. You gave them all guns and a tail, so I get 2 full saves. And I failed 2 of them, so 2 scouts die. Took 1 from there, because if I take either one of these, then you can pile in a further 3 inches or consolidate a further 3 inches. And I don't want you that close to my lines. Right, onto this abortion one more time. This Horospex, or whatever it's called, having a go with his great big tongue against 1 scout. So D3 attacks for each attack. And this time it's a bit better. 10 attacks, hitting on 4s. And he gets a few hits in finally. And this is strength 7, I think. So it's wounding on 3s anyway, minus 1 AP. 3 wounds. I need 3 5-up saves. He dies. You kill the scout, and then he can consolidate. Yeah, so the Horospex moves forward, but staying an inch away, try not to drag the scouts into close combat. These scouts will pile in and fight back. Scouts piled in, punched back at this Carnifex, did no damage, and that's the end of Tyranids, turn 2. I have a morale, lost 3 people here. Leadership 9, plus 6 is 9. They'll be okay, actually. These guys are leadership 9. They'll be okay. That's the end of my morale phase. In fact, that's the end of everything for Tyranids turn 2. Right, you did get overwhelming firepower. You are securing that objective down there, and you are within 3 inches of this objective up here. So maximum points for you, that's 3 points. You had 3 in the first turn, right?
Yeah.
So it's 7 points to the 13th, 6 points to Hive Fleet Blizzard. It's a very close game, and let's face it, there is a wall of blue about to hit my blue. So let's go on to Space Marines, turn 2. Here are the orders for the Space Marines, and they are going to be trickier to achieve. High Command want me to advance out of my deployment zone and take the fight to the enemy, so that probably isn't going to happen. Secure Objective 1 is deep within the Tyranid lines. An Emperor's Retribution. Take an objective that was previously controlled by an opponent, my enemy, for D3 points. Now that one's a bit interesting. Right, interrupting the movement phase. This unit of Inceptors is 16 inches away from Objective 1 there. They move 10. So if I roll a 3, I'm moving 13 because I'm advancing them. And then I'll be within 3 inches of the centre of that objective and be able to get Objective 1. And I rolled a 5. That's good. So the jumpy dudes advance onto this objective here, and because they have assault bolters, they will still be able to shoot after advancing. But it'll be a -1 to hit with assault weaponry, but I like it. Right, here we are after the Space Marine movement phase. I don't have very many assets left. As we saw, I'm on Objective 1 over there with the Inceptors. Here's Objective 4, which is another one that I need to take. Or Emperor's Retribution, sorry. If I kill these Ripper Swarms, then I will score it. But they are troop choices. I need to kill them utterly because I'll have the objective secured. I'll take it. However, they only have a 6-up save. Those assault bolters are hitting on 3s, winning on 3s, no saves, kill them off. There's no synapse over here as well. Plus, I can charge them if there's 1 base left. But if there's 1 base or 1 wound left, I won't get that D3 points for Emperor's Retribution. As for advance out of my deployment zone, well, I'm trying, but it's extremely tough. There's a lot of big bugs coming down towards me. So in this fight here, the scouts piled into this one, and at the end, or at the start of my turn, I've broken out of combat from that Carnifex there. This scout here jumped out of combat, fell back from combat with this scout, but the scouts are still in combat with that Carnifex there, which means I can shoot at this one. And there's a Hellblaster left there, Assault Hellblaster left there. Kill this one, stay locked up with the other one. And the unit of non-assault plasma incinerators, these are the rapid fire ones, pushing forward. Need to start killing some of these big beasties before they get closer. Here are the assault plasma incinerators staying backwards, and there's a Hellblaster screen. Basically, I killed a Trigon Brian last turn with Hellblasters, and each turn now I need to kill more than 1 monstrous creature. If I just kill 1 a turn every turn, then they will smash into my lines. Need to kill more than 1, and I can't rely on Steve, not Rob, blowing up his own brains of his bugs.
Well, you may do it.
But, well, yeah, he might do it again if I'm very, very lucky. So I need more than you helping me out. I need to do this with my guns. So let's shoot stuff. 7 Hellblasters overcharging, firing at this Haruspex here. So I am in rapid fire range. hitting on 3s and re-rolling 1s because of the captain right in front. And again, don't get any 1s. And the next guy, I've got 14 dice next to me, so I know I'm rolling the right amount. Last shot, that was beautiful. That was 13 out of 14 hits. I like it. These guys are strength 8 now. You're toughness 8.
Yes.
So I need 4s to wound, and this will burn straight through your armor. You don't have an abundance save. Catalyst isn't on him, so I need this to work. And re-rolling 1s. Now let me think about it, because I don't know how many wounds he's got. And each of these will do a flat 2 damage. So there's 10 wounds. 5. So that's 10 damage. He's got 13 to get through. I am going to command point it. I need a 4 to take 2 more off of him. Nope. He's got 3 left. Right. Next squad. I'm going to fire 3 at the big Haruspecs and 2 at the Hive Tyrant up there. These are the Assault Plasma Incinerators, so they're only strength 6, overcharging, strength 7. Okay, so let's do 3 at the Haruspecs. 3s to hit. 3s to hit. Rerolling 1s. And 3s to hit. Okay, so only 3 hits. Strength 7. Toughness 8.
Yep.
So I need 5s to wound. Rerolling 1s. That's 2 damage. He's got 3 left. This has to be a 5. It's not a 5. He's got 1 left. Oh no.
They're AP 4 as well.
They're AP -4. They're all AP -4. And then 2 shots up at the Hive Tyrant. Hits. Doesn't hit. So that's strength 7, toughness 7. So 4s to wound. Oh, 3 wounds. 4 up and vulnerable save. And you fail 1, you pass.
Fail 2.
Fail 2. So that's 4 damage on him. He was on 10, he's down to 6. And this Haruspec's on 1 wound left. Okay, let's fire this one at that Carnifex, overcharging. 3s to hit.
Actually,
4s to hit. Okay, so 1 was definitely a thing. This was a cock.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's -1 to hit, right?
Yeah.
But that's still a hit. And then re-roll 1s. They both hit. Sorry, mate. Strength 7, toughness 7. 4s to wound. Oh, Carnifex is alive.
Wow.
How annoying is that? Okay, so it's going to have to be the Hellblasters. 2 of the Hellblasters on that. 2 of the Hellblasters on the Carnifex. Hellblasters? Jumpy dudes. I really shouldn't have broken out of combat, maybe. Okay, so it's going to be 12 shots into the Carnifex from these first 2 here. 3s to hit. Re-rolling 1s. Gotta kill this Carnifex, otherwise it's going to be free to shoot. And 5s to wound. Re-rolling 1s. 1, 2, 3. 3 wounds at -1 AP. You've got 2 wounds left. And the Carnifex is dead unless you command point 1 of them.
Oh, I just
keep him alive?
Yeah.
You haven't spent any yet. He's alive.
That's my second
On 1 wound left. Oh no. Okay, so jumpy dudes firing at the Haruspecs with the last 12 shots. 1 wound left. I said at the start of all of this, I need to kill more than 1 big beastie a turn. This isn't working. 3s. Re-rolling 1s. Because I'm right next to my captain. And then I need strength 5, toughness 8, so I need 5s. Re-rolling, that might do it. That might do it. No re-rolls, but I got 6 wounds at -1, which drops his 3 up to a 4 up. You need to make 6 4-up saves to keep him alive. And the Haruspecs falls. Does he have death throws? Just chuck a dice and let's if we roll a 6. No. So killed 1 big beastie. And this one's on 1 wound left. Can my captain see him? Oh yeah, the captain and lieutenant are here. They can see him. Let's fire a pistol from the lieutenant. Hits on a 3, wounds on a 5.
Does he wound on a...
No, he hits on a 4, you're right. The captain would hit on 2s, but it's 3s because of Spore Cyst, so they both hit. He will wound on 5s. Mastercrafted bolt rifle, both. And it's -1 because it's mastercrafted, I'm afraid. 4 up.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead. I kill the Carnifex. Kill 2 big beasties. Death throws?
No, not on Carnifexes.
Not on Carnifexes? keeping some distance between me and this rampaging horde. That was close. That was the last gun. Pistols did nothing. Now across to unit of Jumpy Dudes number 2. 24 assault bolter shots into the Rippers. 3s to hit. 3s to wound. 12 wounds to get through. And that was 14 wounds. 12 wounds to get through, so I clear away that Ripper swarm. That's Emperor's Retribution. Now let's do the same with this unit of Inceptors into the swarm. And they were hit on 4s because they advanced. And then over here, these 2 intercessors who are falling back heroically managed to shoot 2 wounds off that Hive Tyrant, shooting back over their shoulders there. He's down to only 4 wounds left. And now we're on to combats. Scouts versus Carnifex. And the Scouts do no damage to the Carnifex. The Carnifex kills off one of the Scouts, and that's the end of Space Marines turn 2. Right, I have a point for securing Objective 1, so it's 8 points to 6. And I get D3 extra points for Emperor's Retribution here, for taking an objective that was previously controlled by some Ripper Swarms. It's a bit bullyish, beating someone up, really, these big guys coming in, but I'll take the points, D3. And that's 2 more points, so it's 10 points to 6. Somehow, the 13th, 2nd Company are in the lead as this swarm keeps on closing in. Let's go on to Tyranids turn 3. Here are the orders from the Hive Mind. Secure Objective 6 and Swarm and Crush. Swarm is score a victory point if you control more objective markers than your opponent at the end of the turn. Steve's still got 2 lictors that can pop up. And Crush, score a victory point if at least 1 enemy unit was completely destroyed this turn, and the last model in that unit was slain by an attack made by a Tyranid monster or a Tyranid unit of more than 10 models. All of these are achievable. You keep scratching your head. Lots of thinking going on here. What are you doing, Steve?
What am I doing? I'm trying to claw back some
dignity
out of this absolute whooping. I think it's down to me bundling every dice roll and you absolutely rolling like me.
This game is not over yet.
I don't think so. It's not over that.
You're currently on 1, 2, 3 objectives.
Yeah.
And I'm on 3. I'm on 1, 2, 3. If you steal that one off of me, you'll have more objectives than me. And that's objective 6. So that's a couple of points right there. Just by charging, I guess. Charge forward and there. Then you can push these ones onto that objective there. Yeah. But Crush and Swarm. You're thinking about what? Advancing these guys or just moving them?
I can move them down to there, which gives them about a 10-inch charge.
That's a long charge.
It's a long charge, but I have got a re-roll of charging.
Yes.
But if I could get him, if I can... There's a lot of ifs. Lots of ifs. If I can get him anywhere near there, he should absolutely destroy those scouts, which then I can consolidate into Hell Blasters.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Then I know it's giving you 3 shots on the Carnifex, but it means you have to back them out of combat to shoot them. Then at the end, -1.
Yep.
Obviously.
Trying to get to the Hell Blasters, essentially.
Or whether I just advance him down and put pressure on your lines.
The pressure hasn't really got away. There's no pressure all game. You really do have a lovely beard there.
Thank you.
Okay, here we are at the end of the Tyranid movement phase, and one lictor has popped up onto this objective here, and the other one has popped up onto this objective here because you bring in reserve units after the unit has moved. So the Hive Tyrant busting forward there, him popping up on that objective there, and you've got that objective there with the Neurothrop and the Swarm. So you've currently got 3 objectives. I've got 3 objectives. Now, as for Crush, which is kill or swarm, I forget which one. Kill a unit with a monster keyword. If that Carnifex kills them, he's got the monster keyword, you get that objective, so there's a point. And swarm is the one, where you need more objectives than me. So currently I am scoring that objective because I've got objective secured and there's some scouts there. You need to kill the scouts. Then you're scoring objective 6, and that will be all of your objectives. You will swarm, you will crush, you will take objective 6, and there'll only be 1 point in it. And more importantly, there is some significant pressure right in my castle. Both of the Carnifexes choosing to advance this turn. The Carnifexes and the swarm swinging around this way, and essentially I'm doing a fighting retreat, running away, shooting back over my shoulder, trying to hold on to my commanding lead and pick off these choice targets. Let's go on to the psychic phase. Starting off the Neurothrope, casting Catalyst on the Hive Tyrant. Roll up. And that's a pass. He now has a 4-up, ignore damage.
5-up.
5-up, ignore damage. And we forgot last turn, the Neurothrope has 2 psychic powers. So is he doing another one?
He's going to do Smite.
Smite, it'll hit those scouts, yeah. You need a 5.
Yep.
And that works. D3 mortal wounds on the scouts. 1 mortal wound, he kills a scout. Hive Tyrant smiting away. And that passes. D3 mortal wounds on the Inceptors. That's 1. And then Psychic Screen needs a 5. And that's a 4. That fails.
Nice command point that.
Yeah, that never goes wrong.
Never.
Okay, that passes. So D3 more mortal wounds on the Inceptors. So a 1 and a 1, just killing off one of the jumpy dudes. Not that jumpy dude, he's the sergeant. Take away that jumpy dude. So there are 4 gaunts that can pick on this Hellblaster with 1 wound left, hitting on 4s. Yep. And wounding on 4s. That's 2 hits. And 2 wounds, 2 3-up saves. And you kill that final Hellblaster. Do I want to command point that? Yeah, I'm going to be really annoying and command point it. He's still alive.
You are very annoying.
And the remaining shots from the little bugs, the ones that could see and were in range, fired into the Hellblasters, did nothing. Now him, the Hive Tyrant with his twin Devourers going into the jumpy dudes right in front of them. This is 12 shots. He's hitting on 3s even though he is really wounded. That's a good spread of hits. He's wounded on 3s. It's strength 6, toughness 5, but it is no negative to the AP. So I might walk through this. How many did you get? How many did you get? Just 3. Yeah. 4. There's 4 there. 4 3-up saves, and I take a wound on the Inceptors. That's it for the shooting phase. Now we're on to the charge phase. Some difficult decisions here because he really wants to tie the Hellblasters up, but doesn't want the Overwatch. So just declaring a charge against the jumpy dudes and hoping the pile-in move can bring him in base with the Hellblasters, which will prevent them from shooting. So let's Overwatch. And he took 2 wounds from the Inceptors on Overwatch, despite having Catalyst, only 2 left. Now rolling the charge, and that's a 6. Then the Hive Tyrant ended up there. Then the Termagants charged in on the Scouts. Got a good roll on the charge, so he is in base with the Scouts, and then you can move the other models where you want to. He's now on objective 6. Objective securing that one and outnumbering me on the number of objectives. Then over here, this bad boy made it in as well. Now onto the fight phase. Selecting the Hive Tyrant first, he piles in so he's closest to the closest enemy model, but he can pile in the full 3, which gets him there, which means the Hellblasters are also engaged in this combat as well. It means they'll be able to strike the Hive Tyrant, but when I fall back, it's going to be -1 for me to shoot because of Ultramarines Chapter Tactics. If I shoot up at the Carnifexes, for example, it'll be -2 to hit. Anyway, let's do the Hive Tyrant versus the Inceptors. Because he's only on 2 wounds left, he's hit on 4s with his Rending Claws.
Yep, monstrous Rending
Claws. 2 hits. He's wounding on 3s and re-rolling because
basically shred.
Yeah. And they're both -3.
-3, yeah.
D3 damage each, so I need 6s, which I fail, and each one does D3 damage.
One's going to be dead.
One's dead, yeah, and the other one is cocked.
1.
One's dead, one is on 1 wound left. So this one dies, this one takes 1 wound left. Now when I select units to fight, you select a unit that is within an inch of an enemy model. So these Inceptors will no longer be able to fight because I won't be within an inch of an enemy model. I will be able to select the Hellblasters, however. I'm not going to pay to interrupt. Do you want to fight with your little bugs or the Carnifex next?
I'll fight with the little bugs because I'm down here.
Okay, loads of little bugs versus Scouts. So 14 little bugs managed to pile into the Scouts. These guys hit on 4s and they'll be wounding on 5s. 9 hits, 5s to wound. 1, 2, 4. 4 wounds, 4 Scout saves. And they managed to kill 2 Scouts.
I'll take that for $1.
Leaving 3 Scouts left. Across this Carnifex on a 4, he did a mortal wound when he came charging in, which we've got to do because of crushing charge. No, and then he's got 4 attacks. +1 attack because you've got a pair of monstrous serving talons, so 5 attacks. And he charged, so he's hitting on 3s.
3s. Reroll 1s.
Yep, rerolling that 1. Nice, and he's wounding on 3s.
Yep.
And yes, okay, that's 3.
3
wounds.
That does 2 damage because it's a
Does
toxin sack.
-3 AP, right? 6s. No, they are dead. That was the order to crush. This is the order to swarm. Both achieved. Now the Carnifex is striking my scouts, 3 remaining scouts. Hitting with his thing.
With nothing really. So 4s.
Yep. 4s to hit and 3s to wound. He does manage to wound.
It's cocked. So
okay.
2.
2 wounds, 2 4 up. 2 more scouts died. Just the sergeant left alive, which will make morale interesting. Oh no, he's got his tail.
A mace. Misses.
Okay, so now it's my turn. I think that's all of your fights done. So I'll do my sergeant, who's probably going to run away, who's under there. He's got 2 attacks, +1 for a chainsword. So he hits on 3s. I'm doing this on your little bugs. Wounding on 3s. 3 6-up saves on your little bugs. And 3 little bugs die. You can take from the back. And then my Hellblasters will pile in and try and punch this Hive Guard, which is on Hive Tyrant, which is on 2 wounds left. 7 Hellblasters there. That's 15 attacks with the sergeant, and they're right next to the captain lieutenant. This is interesting. Can I bring this behemoth down? 3s to hit. Re-rolling 1s because the captain is yelling in their ear. Take him down.
Bring it down.
Hit down. Hit better. Go for the eyes. 5s to wound. Re-rolling 1s. In the end, I did just 2 wounds. 2 is enough.
That's all you need.
2 3-up saves. And Catalyst. Snake Eyes. You need to pass both of these on a 5-up. Changing the dice there.
Changing the dice.
No. He has fallen. Death throws on a 6. Lashing out on everything around him.
Nope.
No.
But I will spend 2 command a stratagem.
A stratagem?
Basically, I'm going to fight again because it.
It's called Only in Death Does Duty End for the Space Marines. So yeah, I could do that too. Can I? I don't know. Yeah. Let's find out what the stratagem is. Nice. I like it. I take him out. Right. Death Frenzy. 2 command points, and you can select a character once he's died, and he gets to do his stuff again. So he's died. It doesn't say what profile you hit with though.
Yeah. So basically, there was, like I say, it doesn't say anything, and there hasn't been any FAQs about that. But
no.
Interestingly enough, a great a Nib player called Aceface, you might know his channel. He's a great guy. I've met him a couple of times.
Once or twice, yeah.
He said about that. He said he reckons it's only fair to do it from the middle bracket rather than the high.
Yeah. Because
sometimes you could say, well, he died on his lowest bracket, so he has to attack with his lowest bracket. But
yeah.
If you kill him on his upper bracket,
yeah,
and wipe all his wounds out and kill him in 1 stroke, does he still go at the top?
I don't know.
So I said the fairest way is probably to do it by the 3rd bracket.
Yeah, so he's got 3 brackets. He's got Death Frenzy, and before he dies, striking again. It just seems perfectly fair to do it right in the middle. So he will pile in to an enemy unit within an inch, which is the Hellblasters.
Yeah.
Then he'll get to strike. His middle bracket, he hits on 3 still.
He hits on 3,
which is good. So swinging away. And they all hit.
3s to wound.
Yeah.
6s are horrible.
6s are really horrible.
So you got 1.
So 6 just wipes 1 out, and the other ones I need 6-up saves, which I fail, and they do D3 damage each, right? So
that will do a 3 damage.
So that kills 1.
And that is D3 damage each.
So see if you kill a Hellblaster, because they got 2 wounds each.
So that's another 1 dead, and... Oh, that's
2 Hellblasters dead.
3 Hellblasters dead.
Okay, so 3 Hellblasters dead. Then we've got your tail.
Yeah.
So do the tail on the Hellblasters, hitting on a 3, wounding on a 3. It does wound, minus nothing, which I save.
Yeah.
And we've got to do the tail on the Inceptors, so let's do that as well. Hits.
No, it wouldn't do because
yes, he was wounded. He was wounded. So you take out 3 of these Hellblasters, and I take out your Hive Tyrant. Then at the end of the combat, it looks like this. Right, I don't have a morale to take on the Hellblasters because I lost 3 and my leadership is 9 because of Ultramarines tactics. But this one lone hero sergeant there, he lost 6 of his buddies. He's leadership 9. 6 plus 2 is 8. He holds firm, locking up that Carnifex and all the swarm around him. He won't be able to fall back either because he is surrounded. And I don't have much of the castle left. And that's the end of Tyranid's turn 3. And the Hive Fleet have scored all of their objectives. They've taken objective 6, they've crushed, they've certainly swarmed. So it's 10 points to 9 as we head to Space Marines, turn 3. Here are the orders for the second company, and they're tough. Witch Hunter, Killer, Psyker. Now the last Psyker is a character buried in and amongst some units, so I can't target him. Defend objective 5. I'm not near it, I can't defend it. For the Emperor, make a successful charge. I can do that. The fighting retreat continues. I ditched advance that was in my hand last turn. I told High Command I will not be able to advance out my deployment zone. Anyway, there's objective 5, which I need to defend. That isn't happening. And there's Witch Hunter, the last Psyker on the table. That isn't happening either. But make a charge. Well, there is that Hero Sergeant in and amongst here, which is holding up all of these units. So all I have to do is charge with this Hellblaster into them, and I get a point, which puts me 2 points in the lead. Just 2 points. And still a lot of the game to play for. Now, these Inceptors, jumpy dudes, they're dead, so they've pushed forward. Here's one unit of Hellblasters within 6 inches of the Captain-Lieutenant combo. These are the rapid fire versions. These are the assault versions. Need to take out one of those Carnifexes. Can't shoot into this mass, so trying to take out one of those Carnifexes first. With that in mind, the other 2 units of jumpy dudes are pushing forward to try and take out one of those big bugs as well. That's it. Basically, throw as much firepower as I can downstream. We have been tearing chunks out of each other. The dead piles are massive. Anyway, let's pull the trigger. This unit of jumpy dudes firing at the Carnifex. It's got Spore Assist, so I'm hitting on 4s and not 3s. 12 out of 24 hits, perfectly average. 5s to wound with -1 AP. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds. 5 wounds on the first Carnifex. Let's bring down this beast. 4 up saves. Ooh, and 3 of them get through. Now this squad here, there is only 2 of them that are in range because they're 18-inch range bolters. So let's fire these 2 guys. They're hitting on 4s because of Spore Assists. 6 hits, perfectly average. One more time. 5s to wound. Just 2 wounds this time. 2 4-up saves. And chip another wound off of him. He's down to 4 left. Let's fire this unit of Inceptors at him. On the one that's down to 4 wounds left. And hitting on 4s. That's 6 again. Perfectly statistically average. Well done, boys. 5s to wound. 2 more wounds. 2... Fine. And he saves that time. So 4 left. Right, next up, let's fire these Hellblasters. 5 Hellblasters there, 10 Assault Plasma Shots going into that Carnifex. Can't shoot at the other one because he's old 1 eye. 4s to hit because -1 to hit with Spore Assists. Reroll a 1. 9 hits, 5s to wound. 1. I did 1 wound. -4 AP, takes 1 more off of him, down to 3. Now the squad in front. Rapid firing, -1 to hit. So, 3s to hit, 4s to hit. Take these ones away. And then do my re-rolls and then apply the modifier. So one of them is dead. And I wasn't overcharging. And these are strength 7, toughness 7. So 4s to wound. Re-rolling 1s. He's dead. And a Hellblaster is dead. Now across here. Now my Captain and Lieutenant, the only thing that is in range is old 1 eye. But he's a character, so I can't shoot at him because there's a unit in front. Same with this one lone Hellblaster Sergeant here. The only thing in range to him is old 1 eye. This one here is just out of range, so I can't shoot at him because there's units in front of old 1 eye. That's really annoying. In fact, that is the end of my shooting phase. So Killer Carnifex, this guy charges in there on 1 wound left. Let's go on to the fight phase. The Hellblaster Sergeant and the Scout Sergeant managed to take 5 of the little bugs out with them. I'm not charging with the Intercessors there into jumpy dudes. They're not going into old 1 eye. That would just be suicide. Let's hit them on the Overwatch. Anyway, now we get to strike back. The big beastie and all the little bugs on this side can hit my scout sergeant. And then there's 3 little bugs on this side hitting that intercessor, Hellblaster sergeant. Then at the end of that combat, the Hellblaster sergeant's still alive. The scout sergeant has been taken out. And that's the end of Space Marines. Turn 3. Now, I don't kill the witch. I don't start defending that objective, but I did charge in, which gives me 1 more point. So there's only 2 points in it. Here are the orders from the Hive Mind. We both want to defend Objective 5. Defend the very centre of the battle grid. In Supremacy, take any 3 objectives for D3 points. Now that could happen. In Psychological Warfare, put fear into the hearts of the Space Marines. Well, we know no fear. That will not happen. Here we are after the Tyranid movement phase, and this is their entire army, just this chunk here. Now, currently they control 3 objectives, the Neurothrope, the Lictor, and the Lictor. So that'll be D3 points for Supremacy. Remember, there's only 2 points in it. And he started to defend Objective 5 with the Neurothrope. Yep, here's a Neurothrope. This unit broke out of combat from the one lone Hellblaster background, and he is double teaming that objective there. So he is defending that, and at the end of my turn, that'll be 5 points. The DAC effects is also pulled back away from combat. He wasn't engaged with the Hellblaster, so he will be able to fire. So it looks like there's going to be a lot of points. The Carnifex that was there is moving an extra 1 inch because of adrenal glands. He's going to take on these jumpy dudes, and old One Eye busting forward to take on the unit of Hellblasters there, clearing the castle back. In fact, if this is successful, not only will Steve get a chunk of points, but all I'll have left is Hellblasters, jumpy dudes, and my Captain Lieutenant. That's it. I will have a thin blue line versus this line of claws and teeth. Opening up the psychic phase. What we doing, Mr. Beard?
Mr. Beard. Hey, someone else is called Mr. Beard.
Okay, you're Steve, not Rob.
Steve, not Rob. I'm going to put Catalyst on myself.
Okay. Because I've got Witch Hunter in my hand.
Yes.
He is your warlord. You're
Yes.
worried about me jumping over the back and shooting you in the back. I definitely want to shoot you in the back. Okay, Catalyst. And that's a pass, yeah. 5 up, ignore wounds. Are you smiting as well?
I'm going to smite.
Smite again like we did last summer. It'll hit these guys.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
That passes. D3 mortal wounds. 2 mortal wounds. It'll kill 1, put the sergeant down to 1 wound left. And it looks like this. Right, shooting phase. There's only 2 units can shoot. The little bugs cannot shoot because they fell back out of combat with the Hellblasters. So we have the DAC effects putting all of his shots into the Hellblasters down here, trying to force psychological warfare. 24 shots, hitting on 3s because of enhanced sensors. 13 hits come into the 13th, wounding on 3s. And this is AP dash, and I've got 2 wounds each on these Hellblasters. So let's see how many you can take out. It looks like there's 7 wounds, 3 up saves. 1, 2, just 1 Hellblaster falls. In the end, that's the end of the shooting phase. Charge phase. This one charging the Inceptor. No wounds done on Overwatch. And he is in with a reroll. He's definitely in. And then old One Eye into these Hellblasters. Now I am going to overcharge. I am in 6-inch. I'm in 6-inch range of the Captain and 6-inch range of the Lieutenant. So let's overcharge old One Eye. 6s to hit. Rerolling 1s. 6s to hit. 6s to hit, and then apply rerolling 1s, and then typically you'd apply the modifier, making it 5s to hit, but you don't in Overwatch. Overwatch just hits on 6s, no modifiers. This makes me strength 8 versus toughness 7. I need 3s to wound, rerolling 1s, and that is 1 hit in on old One Eye at -4. It does 2 damage each. He doesn't take a save, so he drops down from 9 to 7 wounds. Now you need to make this charge into these Hellblasters. You get a reroll because of Behemoth. 6. 6 is enough. You only need to be 1 inch away. Old One Eye is in. So we're starting off with this Screamer Killer first. 4 attacks plus 1.
So what we got to do, we've got to do
5
the
attacks.
battering ram.
Oh yeah, battering ram.
On 4+ and mortal wound. So he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. And then he consolidates further. A 4 up for old One Eye.
Yeah.
He does a mortal wound as well, and now we're on to Old One Eye versus Hellblasters. Right, going with his crushing claws. It would be -1 to hit, but he's +1 to hit because he's charging, and +1 to hit because his thingy bob as well. Basically, he's hitting on 2s with 5 attacks with his crushing claws. But he's not re-rolling anything here. They all hit. Strength ×2, so he's wounding on 2s. And he does 5 wounds. And it's -3 AP. So I need 5 6-up saves. And I fail 1. Each does a flat 3 damage. Those 3 Hellblasters have been crushed to death. And this is the end of Tyranids. Turn 4, they're pushing the Space Marines back and back and back. At the end of that turn, you get D3 points for Supremacy, which is 3. Suddenly the Tyranids are in the lead. It's 13 points to the Bugs, 12 points to the Astartes. Let's go to Space Marines turn 4. Here are the orders for the second company. Secure Objective 2, too far away to get to. And Witch Hunter and Kingslayer, just take out that Neurothrope. Here we are after my movement phase. I rolled a 6 for my advance for the jumpy dudes. So they're up and over and on to Objective 5, where I mean to get Kingslayer and Witch Hunter by taking out that Neurothrope. He is the closest to that unit of jumpy dudes. The other unit, stringing back this way, there's one guy there, and with lots of careful measuring and careful placement, he is within 6-inch range of the captain as well as the lieutenant. So I'll be re-rolling hit rolls of 1, re-rolling wound rolls of 1 as I throw round after round after round into the last remaining unit of gaunts. The lone hero Sergeant Hellblaster coming back, and under that gap in the rock there, and the Hellblasters forming a screen. We mean to take out Old One Eye. Right, it's not -1 to hit Old One Eye. He hasn't got Spore Cysts, so I will overcharge these guns one more time. Mind you, on 1s, I still kill myself. So let's do this unit in front. Hitting on 3s. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s. Oh no, is 1 going to fall? 1 does fall. 1 gets hot and kills him. Hitting on 3s and hitting on 3s. Okay, so this number of hits, 7 hits. I am strength 7, you're toughness 7. Yeah. I need force to wound. And I reroll 1s, but that's enough. Each of them are -4 AP and 2 damage each. That's 8 damage. Old One Eye goes down. Then the Hellblaster Sergeant and my captain fired in at the second, Carnifex taking 2 wounds off of him. And now we have the jumpy dudes firing into this swarm here. 24 shots. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s. And no save because it's -1 AP. And a hailstorm of mass reactive rounds slam into the gaunts and kill every single one. And now I have this squad here. Must kill the witch. Forced to hit because I advanced. And no re-rolling. Only 8 hits, 3s to wound. This isn't going to be enough to kill him. 5 wounds. He has a 3-up invulnerable save and then a 5-up catalyst. So 5 wounds.
3 wounds.
He fails only 1 and then 5-up catalyst.
Fine.
He's fine. He takes it. He does not fall, and that is the end of my turn. And I don't think I got any points. Yeah, I'm not securing Objective 2. That's the one all the way over there. I haven't got Kingslayer and I haven't killed the witch. So it's still 13 points to 12. However, I stop you defending that objective there, getting 2 more points. So it's 13 points to 12, only 1 point in it as we head towards the end game. Turn 5. Here are the orders from the Hive Mind. Kingslayer, take out that enemy captain. Secure Objective 5. It's all about that objective in the centre of the board. And Terrify. Make the Space Marines fail a morale test. I keep telling them, it isn't going to happen. We will not bend. Here we are after the movement phase. Very simple. This Carnifex will catch a unit of Hellblasters before the game is done and slaughter them. And then try and secure Objective 5, the DAC effects, the Neurothrope, and the Lictor jumping down as well to join in against these Inceptors, the jumpy dudes, on Objective 5. Casting Catalyst on the Neurothrope, trying to keep him alive. That passes, and then smiting.
Smiting.
Yep.
Like you did last summer.
And that's a 10. If it was 11, it would be D6 mortal wounds. But sticking with the 2. So that's one of the Inceptors dead. Then the Carnifex fired in, causing 13 wounds, 13 saves to make for the 13th. There's 1 dead, there's 2 dead, 2 more Inceptors, 4, leaving only the Sergeant left alive. And the Lictor has Flesh Hook, 6-inch range, so he is out of range. You are securing Objective 6, so that's the end of the shooting phase. We're now on the charge phase, and I'm going to overcharge one more time. Like I said, they are dead, so Screamer Killer into these guys here. These are the assault variants, so 2 shots each, hitting on 6s, hitting on 6s, hitting on 6s, and then applying the modifier. So 2 of them will die. Nasty. And then strength 7, toughness 7. Force to wound. That is to get through, doing 2 damage each. He's down to 2 wounds left. Then he makes the charge in on my on my last surviving sergeant there. And then round here, who is going to charge my sergeant?
I think this Carnifex is going to charge him first off.
Okay. So just the Carnifex charging in there. The Neurofolk staying out of combat. Oh yeah, this guy, he needs a 7. You've got a reroll charge. Yeah. And 7. That's a 7. He will be in because you only need to get within 1 inch. The Carnifex did a mortal wound to the Inceptor when he charged in. Now the Licht is swinging away. 3 attacks hitting on 2s. And they all hit strength 6 with his rending claws, wounding on 3s. And it's -1 AP. Just 1. And I fail it. And he falls. Then from this combat across to the Screamer Killer who just ran down that last remaining Hellblaster. And that's the end of Tyranids. Turn 5. And on the board I have 1 unit of Jumpy Dudes, a Hellblaster and my Sergeant and Lieutenant. And that's all that's left of the 13th Second Company. Meanwhile, you have secured Objective 5. And then we just went back a second because Steve wanted to make sure he consolidated 3 inches with his Carnifex to put him just in front of his Neurothrope there. Perfectly legal. So that's good. You get a point for securing Objective 5. You don't get Terrify and you don't get Kingslayer. So there's just 2 points in it. It's 14 points to 12 as we go into Space Marines turn 5. Here are the Space Marine orders. I did secure Objective 2. I've got Kingslayer and Witch Hunter kill that Neurothrope. And Blood and Guts kill something in the assault phase. So it's all very simple. The Hellblaster and the Inceptors moving around towards Objective 5, towards the centre of the table. I need it to go on to turn 6 so I can get that Neurothrope. Kill something in the assault phase. I'm up for a challenge. Captain, Lieutenant versus Carnifex. Bring it. Hellblaster. Overcharging, firing at that thing, hitting on 3s. 4s. So that goes down, that's 1 hit. Wounding on a 4, don't wound. Now fire 24 assault bolter rounds into him. I did 7 damage, 7 4-up saves to make. And you make 3 of them, so it drops 4 wounds, it's got 4 left. Fire pistols here. I don't want to do the mastercrafted thingy bob because it might take more than 1 wound off of him. So fire a pistol from the Lieutenant, wounds on a 5, re-rolling 1s, nope, and from the Captain, hits, doesn't wound. Now let's charge. Captain, Lieutenant charged in. Let's charge the Jumpy Dudes as well. They're going to get in, but they need to face some Overwatch. The Inceptors make it in. At the end of the charge phase, one of them takes a wound. At the end of the charge phase, they do mortal wounds on 6s. No mortal wounds. And now we're on to the fight phase, and I'm picking my Lieutenant first. Should also mention activating the Armor Indomitus on the Captain, so it gives him a 3-up invulnerable save rather than a 4-up. You do it at the start of a phase. Right, Primaris Lieutenant has 4 attacks. He hits on 2s in close combat. He's a bit of a beast. And he's strength 4 versus toughness 7, so he's winning on 5s and re-rolling 1s. What a hero. Full house. This Carnifex has 2 wounds left, and that's a power sword, so it's -3 AP. You need to roll 4 6s to keep him alive. Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it indeed. 4 6s coming up. No 6s.
Smush. 1 dead Carnifex, and that's Blood and Guts. Then across to the Inceptors, 3s to hit in close combat, they're not doing so well. 5s to wound against this guy, they don't do anything at all, then you get to strike back.
So 4 attacks, sorry.
Yeah, 4s to hit,
2
hits, 3s to wound.
1 wound.
1 wound, and 1 save. Tail comes swinging around. That's a hit, and this wound's on a 3, strength 8.
No.
Doesn't wound, and that's the end of my
command point.
You got a command point.
Yeah.
And it does wound. You do kill this guy who. Oh no, it's a 6. I need a 6. No, you do kill this guy, and that's the end of Space Marines turn 5. And I get 1 point, which means you're still 1 point in the lead. It's 14 points to the Space Marines. To the Tyranids, 13 points to the Space Marines, just 1 point in it. And the person who went first, which is you, rolls a dice. Come on, Steve, not Rob. If you roll a 1-2, you win.
Oh, who'd have thought it, hey?
And we go on to turn 6. Here are the orders for Hive Fleet Blizzard. Kingslayer, take out the captain. Defend objective 1. He's far too far away from that one in advance. Get out of his deployment zone. Well, he already is. None of his units are within 1 inch of his deployment zone. In the movement phase, 1 Lictor advances here. The other Lictor advances around to try and join this combat. The Carnifex is locked up. The Neurophrope going backwards. The Tyranids are entirely out of their deployment zone, so that will be an extra point. Steve's got 3 models to play with. 4 models to play with. I've got 6 right now. But let's go into the psychic phase and see how many I have left. Catalyst going on the Lictor.
Yeah.
That passes. And what's the next one?
Smite.
Smiting away.
Like we did last time.
Oh yeah. And that passes. D3 mortal wounds. And that would be 2 mortal wounds, taking out another Inceptor. That's the sergeant.
You take him if you want.
And now we're onto the shooting phase. Done. Now we're onto the charge phase. Right, Lictor's in. 3 attacks, hitting on 2s. And wounding on 3s. And then -1 AP unless you've got 6s, and then it'd be minus a lot. So 4 ups. You kill 1 more. Take him away. That's the charging units done. Yeah. Now your Carnifex strikes my last Interceptor in Jumpy Dude.
4s.
3 hits. 3s to wound. Strength 6, toughness 5. 2 wounds, 2 3-up saves. Because he's a shoot effects. Nope. And then the tail. The tail is cocked. Yeah.
That's a cock of a tail.
And that hits. It wounds on a 3, strength 8. It does wound, and it's -3 AP. Which he fails. Does D3 mortal wounds, D3 damage, I believe?
Damage, yeah.
Smash. All of them have fallen. And at the end of Tyranid's turn 6, you get 1 point for getting out of your deployment zone. I have 3 models left. There's 2 points in it as we go to Space Marines, turn 6. 15 points of 13, just 2 points in it. I ditched Witch Hunter. I've got Kingslayer. No prisoners, just kill something and secure objective 5. The last 3 Space Marines advance forward. There's objective 5. There's the King. Not much I can do apart from shoot what's just in front of me. They fire their guns, and after the smoke clears, the Tyranids are still there. They do no damage. Now I need to roll up to see if this game ends. And the game ends. This is the way the world ends. With 3 models left on the table for the Space Marines and 4 for the Tyranids, this was an absolute bloodbath in this frozen tundra and this frozen desert terrain. And the Tyranids managed to win by a couple of points as they pull backwards towards the hive mind pulling them back, and the captain and lieutenant retreat offwards towards the landing zone. It was this dried up riverbed is now running red with blood, and green blood, and purple blood, or whatever blue blood that comes out of this Tyranid Hive Fleet. So a defeat for the second company, brutal slaughter all round. Steve, what do you think, Steve?
Probably one of the best games I've ever played. So much carnage, so much fun, and just shows you that the game of dice can change on a roll. Really.
Yeah.
I think it's what 40k is all about myself. Not the unknowing really, no matter how much math hammer you do, all it matters is a couple of rolls of the dice or draws of the card.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best part of this game.
Yeah.
Apart from playing you, obviously.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
Well, there was this part when the Hive Tyrant went pop over here. I thought, oh, this could be a turning point. And I'm shifting away from you, and you're running around after these guys, and just it never ended. We were just tearing chunks out of each other. It just got worse and worse and worse, and more and more brutal. There's some very bizarre dice rolls going on there. I mean, my dice rolling at the start was quite good for me.
Yeah, for you it was incredibly hot. I don't think I've ever seen you roll.
I know.
Sixes.
I know.
Yeah, then you touched my dice, and my dice went to pants.
Just for a turn.
You put your minus touch. I touch your dice and bless them, and you touch my dice and curse them. But
yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Really.
But it can't be more equal in the end. To have 3 models and 4 models left, 2 points in it. It's just to get to this sort of, it could have, it could have gone one way or the other. It was just a beautiful thing.
I thought I was done for when my
Did you?
My fly room was there. I thought, oh no, that ruins all my plans. I'm going to need a miracle to pull this, and not so much a miracle, more the hive mind knew what to do.
The hive mind knew what to do. I quite like your list. I know you've only played with it a couple of times, so there was probably a couple of rules errors in there.
Yeah,
but
this is my fourth time playing with this list.
But it's a nice list. It's got some real teeth. I like carnifexes.
Yeah, they are cool.
I like carnifexes. I like Tyranids as well, because they're not evil. They're just a forest fire, a volcano. They're just a force of nature. They just do what they do. The devourer of the galaxy. So anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed watching that one. A couple of shout outs. This battle map brought to you by GameMat.eu. This terrain, this ruined outpost and this Badlands terrain also brought to you by GameMat.eu. It's pre-painted. You just get it out of the box, chuck it on the table. Job is a good one. Thank you to all my patrons for supporting me. Thank you to everyone for watching. Check out the back catalogue. There's painting tutorials in there, terrain tutorials in there. There's all sorts of stuff in the back catalogue, as well as Horus Heresy battle reports. Thank you for watching. Happy wargaming.